On a night where both the home team and the home crowd were too quiet for too long, and the Rangers fall just short in their quest to mount the late comeback against one of the best in the West. 4-2 the final, Winnipeg Jets over the Rangers on Garden Ice. Welcome inside our Delta MSG studios from the Garden, everyone, alongside Steve Valiquette. I'm John Giannone. Start of a really rugged week after a really rugged last week for the Rangers, and it just looked like they were missing that little something for most of the night.
Now, John, at the beginning of the month, we talked about the month that was going to be very difficult for the Rangers, being that they were going to be playing against 8 teams that are playoff bound. So these are big games. You're trying to get yourself into a rhythm before the playoffs begin and playing the right way. They've played 5 of those games, and they've won only once, and it was versus Carolina, a game in which Shesterkin stole. So yes, your process wants to be one where you're trying to guide yourself to what's going to make us be successful when it matters and winning 16 games when it matters into the spring. But don't lose sight of the fact that, you know, you're not there right now. And guys, we've got to be sure here. And Hellebuyck was great in this game. In a way, he stole it. But Scheifele was also great in this game. And some of their stars carried them in a game where the Rangers stars didn't. And this is where sometimes you get caught between process and results. But so far, it hasn't been a great month that way. As well as the Rangers have had success over this stretch, you got to beat those big teams.
Yeah, and part of the takeaway tonight certainly will be that the Rangers managed a 6-on-5 goal late and a power play goal in the second period, and that's it against Connor Hellebuyck, who continued to cement down his reputation as a likely Vezina Trophy winner this year. 32nd win of the year, allows only the 2 goals, and he stopped 40 Rangers shots on the night, Steve, and was the difference from start to finish.
He's such an interesting case because he hasn't had playoff success yet. He's only won 3 playoff rounds in his career, but he's got a Vezina finalist, and right now he's the front runner for the Vezina. And make no mistake, a performance at Madison Square Garden always helps that cause. He was a wall back there, and he's so difficult to read off of because he's a reactionary goalie. He's not a blocking goalie, and he's not a goalie that does the same thing over and over again. He knows how to scramble, but you can see that he also knows when to just battle or stay in form. And you can see the way that he comes across. There's very little daylight there. And at times, it stretched the Rangers where they were trying to do a little bit more than what was necessary. When they did have success, they had 3 guys in the house. And that's what you need against Connor Hellebuyck. You've got to be making it hard on him. You've got to screen him. These are elements the Rangers have in their game. I just don't know if they were there in the same shift tonight.
39 saves officially, according to the NHL, for Connor Hellebuyck, and no less impressive on a night where he walks into the Garden and walks out with a 4-2 win. Let's begin the Ranger reaction to this loss with Mika Zibanejad in the dressing room with Michelle moments ago.
Such a solid first period for you guys. Where did it feel like things kind of went wrong, I guess, in the second?
We didn't get through the neutral zone and got our forecheck going. I thought we had a lot of chances to get the puck in, and I mean they check hard. They're a good team, but I think we didn't really get through the neutral zone like we wanted to, and you know, they got to play from their blue line and into our zone. And, you know, a good team like that, they're going to take advantage, and that's what they did.
Did it feel like more, you know, maybe in that second period, just things that you could have done better, as you're kind of alluding to, as opposed to maybe things that they were doing exceptionally well?
Yeah, I mean, again, give them credit. It's a good team, but I think we look at our own game, and I didn't think we really got up to the level that we want and that we demand from each other. And yeah, it was, you know, it's tough to play even just one bad period like that and try to come back. We tried our best, but yeah, we got to be better than we were in the second.
Did it feel like maybe towards the end of the third period that you were kind of starting to get it together again? You get that goal, and all of a sudden it's 1 goal.
Yeah, I mean we gave ourselves somewhat of a chance there at the end, and we had some chances to tie it up, but it wasn't enough today, and you know, we'll get to practice tomorrow and get ready for Thursday.
It wasn't the level that we want or demand from each other. Those are the thoughts of Mika Zibanejad after the game. He talked about neutral zone. Dan Muse, the assistant coach, told me between periods he thought it was a pace of play with and without the puck, offensively and defensively, that changed between periods 1 and 2.
I hear what Mika's saying, and I think it's one of those where you're trying to resolve whether or not, am I tired or could I give more? And it's difficult sometimes through a difficult stretch, but there's always more to give. The only time you really have a hard time swallowing a loss is when you think, I could have had a second effort. And look at Scheifele's second goal, the breakaway goal. There's more there to give. So I think that's one that you'd wrestle with if you're Mika.
Yeah, Scheifele's second goal that Steve mentioned came late in the second period. It was one of 3 goals that Winnipeg scored in the middle period after it was scoreless through 1. We're going to chronicle those 3 goals and see if there's a common theme or a reason in your mind why it happened.
Yeah, look, I think there are different reasons for it. I think on goal number 1, it's dumped into the corner of Jones and Schneider, and you have to sort this one out really quick. You have to be an outlet, you have to communicate, and for the most part, it was a difficult transition for Shesterkin to get it to the defenseman or the defenseman to get it to the forwards. They are deep. Winnipeg is really deep. They have a hard time moving the puck around and staying in sync, and this is why on the penalty kill, I don't love leaving the feet here for Miller. I'd rather him stand up there because tough for him to recover, and this is the breakaway goal. You shouldn't have this much pace and time to slow down and make it hard on the goalie for Scheifele there. And I just want the players to recognize exactly where we are in the season and at the same time recognize that some of what happened tonight was preventable based on effort.
Scheifele added an empty net goal in the final 8 seconds. That made it the 4-2 final. It was his 8th career hat trick. Let's continue the Ranger reaction in the dressing room. Jimmy Vesey moments ago.
Okay. So just where do you feel like things didn't go well for you guys tonight?
I just thought the second period we kind of, slipped a little bit with our play, but first and third I thought there was a lot of good things, and second period unfortunately was the difference in the game, but I thought there was a lot of good stuff that went on. We've played a lot of hockey and had a good push there in the third, so schedule is what it is. We're just going to keep putting our head down and going to work.
You do get a practice day tomorrow, so what do you think the focus of that will be after this game?
Probably see where everyone's at physically after tonight. We got a big week here, two really good teams, Thursday, Saturday. So, right now I think the focus is probably energy level and maintenance, but we'll see. And like I said, I think we've played a lot of hockey, and I think we've handled things extremely well. There's been a lot of moments to be proud of, I think.
The goaltender was pretty good tonight too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was good. I mean, he's a top goalie in this league. I thought we maybe could have at points of the game gotten more bodies in front of him, but he made some big saves for sure.
What do you think was the struggle in the second period for you guys after you played such a solid first period?
I thought they probably got a talking to after the first period, and their gaps were much tighter to start the second period, and we kind of turned some pucks over and, try to make some cute plays instead of just putting it behind them. But, like I said, first and third, I thought there was a lot of good stuff.
And you heard Jimmy Vesey say, especially in the third period, he really liked a lot of what the Rangers did. Worth noting, Jimmy Vesey's fourth line with Barclay Goodrow and Will Cooley, the only line that was not maneuvered in that third period.
And 17 shots for the team. All of the lines were mixed up because Coach Peter Laviolette was not happy with what happened in the second period. Now, I just want the fans to know, too, that this is the same narrative that's happening in Winnipeg right now. One of the things we talked about in the pregame show was that Winnipeg has only 4 wins against playoff-bound teams since Christmas. So in Winnipeg, the fans there are saying, is it a bit of a facade, our team not being able to win the big games and beat the better teams? We've got a great record. We're tied with the big boys at the top of the Central, but are we really that good? Right. So this was a prove-it game for them. It was a big game for them, and I think the Rangers have to understand that they have Boston, Florida, Colorado, 3 big-time teams that they have to play before the end of this month. I'd love to see the Rangers take those 3 games so that they can say to themselves, you know, guys, we're here with the big boys. We belong, and this is who we are going into the postseason.